Hello and welcome back to Dungeon Mastering Videos. I'm your host and resident nerd watcher, Nicholas DiPatrillo. Today we're very pleased to bring you our first Dungeon Mastering Classics video. That's where we take a look at one of our old articles, reopen the discussion in video format, and maybe repeat some things we think are important. Today we're taking a look at a piece that has a very important place in my heart. It's the first article I ever wrote for Dungeon Mastering, and still one of my favorites. It's called The Price of a Pact. In that piece, I took a look at the 3 different Warlock pacts and suggested some cosmetic flavor you could use for your Warlock depending on which pact you took, and offered some story hooks to Dungeon Masters trying to reach out to their Warlock players. However, since I wrote that, 2 new pacts have come out, the Dark Pact in the Forgotten Realms Player's Guide, and the Vestige Pact in Arcane Power. Today I'd like to take a look at those. Now, the Dark Pact name alone suggests some interesting cosmetic differences. Dark Pact Warlocks probably don't spend a lot of time in the light, so they're likely going to be quite pale, maybe even to the point of translucence. They probably have enlarged pupils, maybe even entirely black eyes. Maybe lights just seem to dim around them for some reason. However, Dark Pact Warlocks have an interesting element that's really left out by the name. Many of their powers are poisons or contagions. Maybe people just tend to get sick around your Warlock. Maybe the Warlock himself bears some marks of an old plague. A hacking cough or a pox-marked face could be appropriate for a Dark Pact Warlock. There are some interesting story hooks you can use for Dark Pact Warlocks based on where they get their power from. These quests can be appropriate as the Warlock levels up. When a Warlock's about to change tiers is the best time for a big quest to bump them up, but they can be intermittent through adventures. Maybe a Dark Pact Warlock needs to spend time secluded in the pitch black underground, maybe traversing the most savage parts of the Underdark. Maybe a Dark Pact Warlock needs to spread a disease through an innocent town, or maybe have a taste of their own medicine and inject themselves with a virulent poison. The other new Warlock pact, the Vestige Pact, is interesting. A Vestige Pact Warlock collects different souls that they manifest within themselves to use their powers. Now, a Vestige Pact Warlock has multiple souls that they keep contained within their body, and the effects of that can be very bizarre. Maybe the different souls have a voice in the Warlock's head. Maybe they force themselves out sometime and demand to be heard. Perhaps when the Warlock is manifesting a different soul, he takes on a slightly different appearance, voice, or mannerisms. The entire group would know which soul the Warlock is manifesting just by how the player is acting him out. There's some interesting story hooks you can use for a Vestige Pact Warlock based on how they gather the souls. Perhaps the Warlock needs to kill these important figures themselves and harvest some of their essence. Maybe the Warlock needs to journey to places that were important to the powerful figure in life and find some memento to draw power from. Or maybe the Vestige Pact Warlock kills other Warlocks who have harvested the soul and just take it from them. It's always important that the Warlock remember the price of his pact. Even if you're playing a Warlock who uses evil powers to do good things, the Warlock should always remember what it costs him. He or she has made a very unsavory deal, and it comes with consequences that the player needs to be reminded of from time to time. Don't be afraid to push them against their alignment and make them do things that might make the player a bit uncomfortable. After all, the character made a dark deal, and now they need to live with it. Until next time, good luck and good rolling.